Now in today's video we're going to be talking about MSM, a product that many people use for a wide range of different things, but we're going to be today looking specifically whether there is any possible use case for MSM as a treatment for eye floaters. Hey, what's happening? This is optometrist Martin Aguzzi, and this channel of course is dedicated to helping you guys to see better, see more comfortably, and to be less anxious about your eyes. If that sounds interesting, then please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell as well, that way you'll get reminded every time I upload a brand new video to the channel. So in this video we're going to cover a couple of things. So first of all, we'll do a little bit of introduction about what MSM actually is, and then we'll talk about some of the use cases that people have for MSM, and then I'll take a deeper look into the possibility of MSM being used for the treatment of eye floaters and possibly other eye conditions as well, and then I'll give you my final conclusions and thought on MSM. Now before we go any further, for all you floater fighters out there that want a community of supportive individuals that know exactly what you're going through, then please check out my link in the description box below and just click on that and get involved and subscribe to the server. And there's a few of us already in the community, and it's just designed to be a supportive, a friendly environment for people with floaters, where you can share experiences, any kind of referrals of specialists that you might have been to that may help somebody else as well. So I'd love to see you on the inside of that. So what is MSM? Well, MSM stands for Methyl, Sulfonyl, Methane, and with a name like that you'll be forgiven for thinking that it's a synthetic man-made compound. But the reality is that MSM exists in nature and is something that as humans we all have an essential need of. When we look at the structure of MSM, we see that there are essentially two core functional groups that make up the structure of MSM, and these are two methyl groups and also a sulfonyl group. And it's these two functional groups that give MSM the wide range of use cases that people have found for it. So just some of the ways that sulfur is really important in our bodies is the fact that it's responsible for making some of the essential and non-essential amino acids that our body needs in order to make all the proteins that our bodies rely on. Now it's not uncommon for people to become deficient in MSM and sulfur because of the way that we prepare our food. So whether in the freezing process or the hydration process of food, then the fruits and the vegetables that we rely on to get our supplies of MSM can become depleted because it kind of degenerates. So having a look at some of the general claim benefits of MSM, here are a list of some of the things that people use MSM for. So arthritis is a common one, whether that's rheumatoid or osteoarthritis, lower back pain, headaches, migraines, muscle aches. People use it in order to be able to speed up their recovery and to improve the healing process. Also, people with restricted movement because of joints and tendon tightness tend to use MSM for that. Hair restoration as well is a use case that some people use it for. Also allergies such as hay fever is one as well that people might use MSM for. Now, I have to say that from a research point of view, many studies that have been done on MSM, it appears that the kind of consistency and of results and findings doesn't seem to be kind of found and doesn't seem to be corroborated by all of these studies consistently. However, anecdotal data tells us that many people are reporting benefits for a wide range of different things by using MSM. So keep that in mind, and keep in mind that science, it doesn't give us firm confirmations that MSM actually does all of these things all of the time for everybody. Now specifically for the eyes, we know that many people use MSM for dry eyes. Some people use it as well and claim benefits for its use as help for cataracts. And then what we're going to kind of go into a bit more detail here is the use case for eye floaters. Now for my research, the 5 kind of common factors that seem to link all of these different conditions that people claim MSM is helping them for are as follows. Number one, membrane interactions. We know that MSM has the ability to penetrate membranes. It's essential for membrane health in your cells, in all cells throughout our whole body. Many kind of research studies have found that MSM does improve the permeability of membranes, and this appears to also be the case in the cornea as well. Number two is antioxidant properties. So we know that again, MSM is very important for creating the essential and the non-essential amino acids that our body needs, and many of these are antioxidants and powerful antioxidants as well at that, and that is really helpful for our bodies. And it seems that many of these conditions that benefit are benefiting from extra antioxidant properties of MSM. So number three is anti-inflammatory properties. So we know that many of these conditions that people use it for are inflammatory conditions. We know that MSM has the ability to control or impact cortisol levels in the body, which is a hormone, and has, as well as other important roles, it has the ability to control and to reduce the process of inflammation that goes on in the body. Number four is collagen and connective tissue manipulation. So it's well documented as well that MSM has the ability to loosen tight connective tissue, and situations, for example, where people have got scar tissue where the fibers have kind of really thickened, or if they've got tight tendons and things like that, then it appears that MSM is able to kind of loosen range of movement in these stiff connective tissues. And then number five is pain relief, and this is because again MSM is documented as being a natural analgesic, as it's called. That means it's able to kind of block receptors, pain receptors, and as a result people find that they get good relief from painful conditions, and that may be then once used for things like back pain relief. Now, with those 5 factors in mind, I'm going to have a look at how that might make sense then for liquid MSM eye drops to possibly be beneficial for people, particularly in the case of eye floaters, but also in other conditions as well, like cataracts and dry eyes. Now, just touching on quickly in the case of dry eyes, then that certainly makes sense to me, because one of the main issues with dry eye is the fact that it's a condition that causes inflammation of the eyes, and the inflammation is one of the biggest problems when it comes to dry eyes. So when you're applying a product like MSM on your eye and it has this powerful antioxidant property, or it's able to work at the level of the mucous membranes of the conjunctiva and the cornea, if it's able to bring more anti-inflammatory benefits on that surface, then it's no wonder that dry eye sufferers will find MSM being beneficial for them in a way that just standard eye drops may perhaps not be enough. Now, in the case of cataracts, this always struck me as one that appeared to be more a case of wishful thinking more than anything else, in terms of whether MSM would be able to reduce cataracts, improve cataracts. But certainly I can imagine a situation where if MSM was able to penetrate the cornea and then get around the crystalline lens, then particularly in situations where people have had invasive eye surgery such as a vitrectomy or something like that, where there may be some risk of oxygen getting into the eye and around the crystalline lens, then the presence of MSM certainly post-operatively might be something that's beneficial to counteract any oxidation process that might happen around there. And as we said, MSM has antioxidant properties, then that could be one way that perhaps it could be applied and used, and may be beneficial in stopping the formation of cataract post-surgery. Now, there's also talks where some people have said that it might have the ability to remove the toxins in the crystalline lens, and by making the crystalline lens more permeable, so some of the content and things come out. I think potentially that could be the case, but we also know that some of the reason why people get age-related cataracts is a result of old redundant cells that have migrated towards the center of the crystalline lens. So it may not be that those can be resolved with the use of something like MSM. Now, on the subject of eye floaters, then again, this is one that again could appear quite far-fetched, but again, we know that MSM is really powerful in terms of its ability to interact with, free up and loosen collagen fibers. Well, we know that the vitreous has collagen fibrils in there, and floaters are essentially the clumping together of collagen fibrils. So we know that there is a potential for MSM to be able to easily permeate through cell membranes, and if it can permeate through the cornea and get into the vitreous area, then potentially as well it can do its magic, if you like, on the collagen fibrils. So if you've got larger clumps that have clumped together, causing annoying floaters, and it has the ability to loosen them and separate these clumps, then that could be one potential mechanism by which people who have floaters and are using MSM may find that it has helped them in some way and reduce their awareness of their floaters. Now, a lot of people who use MSM for floaters also take other things with it as well, such as vitamin. I think people use vitamin D. Some people might use hyaluronic acid as well. And the thinking here may be that the fact that MSM improves permeability of these other products as well that people are taking, and then there may be this cumulative, this combined effect of whether it's hyaluronic acid, vitamin D, as well as the MSM that they're taking as well. So that's one kind of line of thought and one possible way that it could be explained that MSM could be beneficial for eye floaters. As I said, you're probably not going to find any consistent studies saying that this is the case. However, one of the things I've learned is that studies don't often give us the full picture of everything. And I think one of the most important things though is, if you're going to consider trying something like MSM, you want to know in the first instance that it's going to be safe for your eyes in the first place, and there's not going to be any side effects or risks and things like that. So as far as I can see, MSM appears to be perfectly safe. It's actually something that's very well tolerated. So I think from a safety point of view, MSM used obviously sensibly shouldn't be an issue at all from that point of view. Now, there's a whole lot that we could say about MSM and get into the science of it. And initially when I started this video, I was just getting into the weeds of all of that detail, but what we've kind of just covered really is just the crux of what is the essential kind of understanding, and that might give you the confidence to go ahead and try it yourself. So I'm certainly not recommending it for anybody to try. If you want to try it, then obviously kind of do your own research yourself, but hopefully that kind of outlines some thinking along the lines of how it may be possible that MSM could be beneficial. Having said that, I'm thinking that I might well get hold of some MSM, liquid MSM myself, and try it, and I'd definitely be interested to know what you guys think, whether that's something you'd be interested in knowing how it works out with me. If you are, let me know in the comment section below. Should I try liquid MSM eye drops for a stretch of time and see whether that does anything for me? Certainly my floaters have been getting worse, so it'd be interesting to see whether this is something that could help. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, and sharing this video really helps us out. I look forward to catching you guys in the next video. Take care.